Okay, good morning. Dr. Bernie Hanna is the guest today. He is the owner, founder of Las Vegas Bariatrics, of course, obviously in Las Vegas, Nevada. And Dr. Hanna, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Maddie. It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
I've heard your story, but can you give us a 2-minute snapshot? Where did you come from and how did you find your way to bariatrics?
So, yeah, that's a long story. I grew up on the islands and studied in the US, did my undergrad in Florida. I did my med school training in Washington, D.C., and I did my surgical training in Washington, D.C. I came to Las Vegas 21 years ago. It was my first job. And that first job was a job with a solo practitioner who was doing trauma at the university. So I joined a practice with a solo surgeon doing trauma and general surgery. So I was a trauma surgeon here in Las Vegas at the university for about 3-4 years. And it was filled with adrenaline, a lot of, knife and gun club. But I was not utilizing the skill that I was really passionate about, which was minimally invasive surgery, which I had excellent training at Howard University in DC. And I was just missing that. So at the time I started, looking into bariatrics, and it was very interesting that I noticed, you save lives in different way. In trauma, I save lives every day, but this was not a choice. For bariatrics, is a choice. So I started looking into bariatrics. I started doing the courses, and just started delving into it, and I loved it. And here I am again, 18 years into it, doing bariatrics, and it's truly, truly my joy.
Absolutely. And the main topic of this podcast is kind of your growth, especially over the last 12, 24 months. I think even since we were out there with you, you've grown. Can you give us a snapshot of the clinic, staff size? What's the patient population like?
Yeah, it's been quite a ride. I was solo for all of these years, 17 years solo surgeon, building a bariatric practice. And building a bariatric practice is not an easy task. It really is growth built by patient referrals, reputation. And as you go through it, they say you build it, it will come. It's here. This past year and a half, even during COVID, has been like a major boom for us. And I've hired 2 surgeons in the past year, which just blows my mind. I never thought that I would even hire another surgeon because felt like I was on cruise control. Right. But the volume picked up so much. BC is just grown in this country, and many people are struggling with weight. During COVID, we have a lot of individuals that are gaining weight, and my staff in the past year and a half has doubled. I have a staff with about 20 individuals. You're talking the 2 physicians. I have a nurse practitioner and medical assistants, administrators. So it's grown quite a bit. So managing all of that has just been a different task for me, right? But it's all very, very exciting. And also with Boost assistance, that's just really made it blow up, even in, with all of the marketing and website. It's been amazing. So the growth and
thank you for that
has been great.
Send you a Starbucks card for that shameless plug.
Bang.
Kate, tell us about, lots of solo bariatric surgeons around the country. And, everyone sees demand and consults, they come and they go, and it kind of goes in seasons of the year, of the economy, whatever, insurance coverages. what made you finally say, I want to bring on another surgeon? Not only that, but within the year, I'm going to bring on a second one. Was demand just, it was so strong for so long, you finally said, hey, it's not going to go down. I'm going to get somebody else in here.
Yeah, I've seen that the demand is there and it's only growing. When you look at the numbers of obesity that's in your town, in the country, you realize that as a busy bariatric surgeon, you can only do so many cases a year. I mean, how many patients can you operate on? You reach critical mass really fast. The average individual surgeon is doing anywhere from 400 to 500 cases a year if they're busy. And it's difficult to reach 1,000 surgeries a year. And when you look at your population, if your population is over a million people in your city, you're talking with the rate of obesity, 60, 70% or whatever, there's huge numbers of patients out there that need surgery and they don't have access to it. So if you're one who is a busy practice and you do a great job and your reputation precedes you, people want to come to you, you will be inundated with referrals. So the demand is there, and I saw that, and having 2 surgeons on board now, we see just managing the volume. It's amazing. So that's your next challenge, is just managing the volume as referrals come in. So you have to then populate your staff accordingly to meet that request.
Right. And now, can you give a sense of, I mean, when you were solo practice, most of your time is spent, I mean, you're doing surgery, you're in clinic, you're doing surgery. Now the business has grown. Is there a kind of a percentage of your time that is now spent managing the business and people and processes versus, doing clinic and doing surgery?
Definitely, it has been a shift. The shift has been really overseeing and managing the staff with such huge growth to make sure that we continue to maintain quality, because as a business grows, the one thing you want to avoid is losing quality, losing that personable experience. I always tell my patients, we treat you like family. We treat you like family. We're here for you. And as you grow, you don't want to lose that. You don't want to be the guys next door who are seeing an assembly line of patients coming through without that personal touch. So that is a huge challenge for me. And I constantly talk to my staff, my administrators about that, so that we maintain that quality and that touch, so patients don't lose that. Even though I'm focusing even more on that, I find that I've been working more, which was not the plan.
Yeah.
I don't want to work more because I hired 2 surgeons to do that. But with that increase in volume and growth, I find myself, I still have to work. I still have to see patients in the clinic. I still have to operate. And my 2 surgeons are doing the same thing. So it just comes with the territory,
Right. Right. And the reputation of Las Vegas Bariatrics was, people don't really call Las Vegas Bariatrics, they call to see Dr. Hanna. How have
Very
you,
true.
how do you get the staff to subtly make the change and get people to see the other surgeons?
Very true, because the past 17, 18 years, it's been Bernie Hanna, Bernie Hanna, Bernie Hanna. I'm going to see Bernie Hanna. So that has been a big challenge the past year. And we have really made efforts to introduce our new surgeons to the community. We have all the platforms on social media. We have our website being built and optimize. Our SEO person, marketing people, they have done efforts to really expose our new surgeons and show the community that, hey, Bernie Hanna now have 2 other, so to speak, Bernie Hannas.
Yes.
So just like me, good quality, personable, great service. So we've been trying to do that, and it's been doing very well. we've been writing, having my new surgeons, write articles. We've done some videos. So that exposure has been great. We've put out a new practice video, which is on YouTube, that highlights the entire team. So that's been great too.
Yeah. Was it harder than you thought to recruit, interview, select really quality surgeons? Because I know, or just right this second, I know of 4 clinics looking for a bariatric surgeon, and it's challenging.
For me, it was not difficult. It fell in my lap. It was very interesting how it happened. The first surgeon that I hired was training locally in town. He's a chief resident. So I was introduced to him by a friend of mine who's a GI doctor, gastroenterologist, who I trained with at Howard. So we go back 20 years. And he met me one day and he's like, "Bernie, you need to hire this guy." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "You've been solo all this time. You need a surgeon to help you out now." I'm like, I'm not even thinking about this. But he came to me and said, "Just think about it." And we met with Morgan, Dr. Pomerantz, and it was amazing. Awesome guy. And the story is pretty interesting because he said, "You have to hire this guy because his wife is our nurse practitioner. He's going to go to fellowship training and do bariatric surgery, and she's going to leave, but we want her to come back. So you have to hire him so they both come back."
Nice.
I mean, it's a cute and awesome story, and it worked out. So, I wasn't even looking. So on my end, I'm just lucky. But to follow that up, the next surgeon was actually someone that he met when he went to do his fellowship that he really connected with, and came back and said, "Bernie, you have to hire this surgeon, Dr. Patel, because she's awesome. We connected and she wants to move to Vegas." Or, I'm like, "What? Really? I just hired one person. Now you want me to hire a second one?"
Oh, that's great.
So halfway through him being here, we started that conversation, and there it is, another surgeon on board. It just rolled that way, and thank God. It was amazing that our volume is just escalating, and the numbers were picking up, that we were able to actually manage that. So it just worked out. But aside from my story, it is quite challenging, to go out and recruit and look. If you have a hospital system that can help you to try to recruit and vet someone, I'm sure, because we did look at 1 or 2 other individuals over this past year who actually reached out to us, and that was not a good fit. So I can imagine what the challenge would be, because you want to hire someone that has your mindset, and you want to think alike. You want to have the same thought process, especially when you're doing surgeries and stuff. You want to have good skill set, and it's hard to figure out a skill set and someone who does excellent work without working with them when it comes down to surgery.
Yes.
You want to make that decision, and it better be a great decision when that person comes on board. And 2 months into it, you find out, "Oh my God, what did I do? Who is this person? What kind of personality is this? And look at the type of work they do." I tell you, knock on wood, I've been blessed because my 2 surgeons are amazing. Personalities are great. Skill set is awesome. So I'm good.
Oh, that's a fantastic perspective. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's even different. I mean, if you were doing orthopedics or something, or doing LASIK, those are still
Yeah.
surgical procedures. But
Oh yeah.
bariatrics, we have the biggest emotional, financial, physical decision that lots of these people will make in their entire life.
Oh yeah.
And the physician has to know how to navigate that conversation. So you're right.
Definitely.
It's a different skill set.
Yeah.
Last 2 questions, or 1 question really. I think just because you've been in Las Vegas for so long, I think a lot of people assume that you're probably seeing most people from around the country that are out of state, but that's not really the case, is it? What's your mix of from Las Vegas versus out of state patients?
Oh yeah, you did mention that. My patient population are mainly locals.
Yeah.
And all demographic. I see everyone. I say, I guess in the military, leave no man behind. That's how I feel about bariatric surgery, because everyone needs help across the board, demographic wise. So we see everyone here locally. I would say 80-90% of my clients are local, and I have about 10-15% out of state.
Yeah.
We do medical tourism. We have patients that fly in, patients who pay out of pocket. So we are building that, and it's growing actually rapidly. Medical tourism flying in. So we see everyone and all insurances. Thankfully, we're on contracts with payers, and that allows us to grow our business better. So that's one thing we focus on, our contracts. And it comes with the numbers and the outcomes. Once you have great outcomes, good success, then you're able to do that.
Right. Okay. Knowing what you know now, would you have done anything different? Would you have started years ago bringing on another surgeon, or the timing is perfect?
It's hard to look back. 2020 is always, hindsight is always 2020, but I would say if I did this sooner, it would be even more amazing, but I can't change that.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have done that, but it happened this way. And I believe in fate. I believe in timing, and I'm sure the timing is right because I found the right people. My team is just so amazing. I can't imagine who I would have chosen a few years back, and if it may have turned out to be a disaster. So I tell my patients that too, along the same lines. We have patients that go through this process for 3 to 6 months, or some even up to a year, getting to surgery because there are certain things that you have to do for requirements, weight loss, medical supervised diet, see the psych doc, do nutrition evaluations, all this stuff. And it's a journey, it takes time. And like now we have patients who've been in our pipeline for months and months and months. And 2 of our hospitals have canceled our surgeries because of the surge of COVID. So surgery was scheduled, say, next week, and I get a call from the hospital, sorry, we have to cancel your lineup. So I have 8 or 9 cases for next Monday, and we have to call these patients and said, we have to cancel your surgery. Now they're all, oh my gosh, all upset. But I say, hey, it's a journey, maybe it was not your time. I know that's a story to get to this line, but maybe that just was not your day to have surgery,
right?
So things happen for reasons, and it will come. Your time will come. So I feel like my practice, it's arrived. This is great timing. And especially in the midst of COVID, that I was able to survive this as a solo doc and add 2 surgeons on top of it. Financially, it's been quite a burden and a strain, yet we have, conquered, and it's amazing. So yes, timing is right. It's perfect. It's all good.
Pretty sure you're the only private practice in America who added 2 surgeons during COVID.
That's just wicked.
All right.
Is it stupid or what?
No, impeccable timing.
Yeah, right.
Hey, thanks for your time this morning. I'm going to stop the recording, and then we'll close up.
Thank you, Maddie. Appreciate it.